the second episode of this series, I'll be showing you what all the looks block do in mBlock 5. Let's begin. First, the say hello for 2 seconds block or just the say for 2 seconds block. Whatever you put in here, that's what it would say. And whatever you put in here, which needs to be a number, that's how long it would say. So if I click on this, it says hello for 2 seconds. I can change this to 1 second and make this say hi. And when I click on it, it says hi for 1 second. Next, the say block. This make whatever you put here, that's what it would say. And it keeps saying that until you make it stop saying it or make it say something else. For example, it says say hello. So if I click this, it's going to keep saying hello until I do something else. Next, the think for 2 seconds block. This is kind of like the say block, but if you're doing like role plays or something like that on this, it's kind of like a way that only the sprite you're using can it has its own thoughts basically. So if I click this, you see the bubble, there are like bubbles now. Next, the think block. This is like the think for 2 or more seconds block one. But it does that until you make it stop. So as you can see, it's doing that. Next, the switch costume. This makes it so that if your sprite has more costumes or maybe two, two of them, I'm going to pick costume 2. If I click on it, as you can see, it changes. Next, costume. This one, you don't need to pick the type of costume or which costume you want it to have. It just switches to the next costume it has, like this. Next, the switch backdrop. This one, I would have to get a new backdrop me. So I would have to go to background, then I give it a new costume. Oh wait, no, not like that. I do this, and I pick any one I want. So I'm just going to pick the bus station. So now that I've picked the bus station and I come to sprites, now if I pick bus station, since it's already here, we'll switch to the bus station. But if I do backdrop one, it switches back to the blank backdrop. Switch backdrop to backdrop one and wait. This does this so that it will keep changing it until every block that is affected by it would every block that is started by it finishes its stuff. So if I click this, it's going to change, it's going to keep changing it until something else happens. Next backdrop. This does it so that it will pick the next available backdrop like this. Next, change size. This makes it so that whatever number you put here, that's the size it will change by, which you can check here. If I click change size by 10, as you can see, the panda got a bit bigger. And you can also do negative, which makes it shrink like that. Next, set size to percent. This makes it so that whatever percent you set it to, that's the percent of the size I would set it to. So if I pick 10, then I click on it. As you can see, if you just zoom in a bit, it's very small. The only way you'll identify it is from this over there. Let me make this bigger now. Now it's the size from before. I can also make it gigantic by putting a very big number. But it does have a limit to how big it can be, which is 525. So as you can see, this is how big it has become. I'll just set that back to 100. And now it's back to normal. Next, the change color, the change effect by. This makes it so that whatever you pick here and the number you pick here is how intense it is. This is what would make the changes. So if I do change color effect by 25, as you can see, the color slightly changes. You can also do change fisheye, which just does this. It makes it very mushy kind of. I'm going to change that to normal. This will take a bit. Done with that. So I can make it well, which does this. It swirls it around, kind of like you're mixing it. If I make it pixelate, it makes it more it turns in more pixel every time I click it until it's just one pixel. So I can undo that. So now it's back to normal. I can also do mosaic, which just like creates little copies in a way. If I click it again, more and more and more. So I'll let you try out the rest for yourself, like the rest of these ones here. Next, the set effect too. This makes it so that whatever you pick here, I'm going to do brightness. And then if I set it to 100, you get super bright. Now it's completely white. And if I make it negative 100, it's black, like a shadow. Next, the clear graphic effect. This makes it so that whatever changes you made with these two, or just one of them, it will change it back to normal with this. So the black panda is now it's back to normal. Next, the show and hide block. How these work is it either makes it invisible or it makes it visible again. I'll do the hide block first because this one is already visible. So now it's completely invisible, you can't see it. It also changes up over here so you know. And if I click show, it's back. Next, go to layer. This makes it so that if I pick front or back, it would do it in a way that you would see that one sprite is in front of, is behind it. So if I pick, an ant, pick an ant, now I have an. When I click go to front layer, now it's in front of the ant. And if I pick go to back layer, that's behind the ant. Now we'll be keeping the ant for this one. So go forward this amount of layers. This makes it so that the amount of layers there actually are, it would go ahead one of those. So if I click this, because the ant was at I think a second layer, now it is now the panda is in front. And I can make it the panda go behind it. Next, these. It would mention how much of this there is. So if I do this, then I do say it would say its size for 2 seconds, which is 100. If I make it, if I make the size 50, it says 50 now. Next, backdrop number or name. So it would see the name or number of the backdrop. So if you just click on it, it says it right here. This appears after a few seconds. And that's the same thing for the costume number or name. You just click on it. It would say it there for a few seconds. Like that. Okay, that's the rest for this episode. See you in the next episode. Remember to subscribe, like, and share so that you don't miss any of my next episodes or new videos. See you in the next one. Bye.